Good morning vlog. I'm still trying to upload last week's. My computer hates vlogs. I have class starting at 8. It's on Google Meet and we're gonna be talking in our ALGs. I think it's gonna upload. This is my setup for the day. I can see exactly what lectures I am learning. So after my ALG group meets from 8 to 10 on Google Meet, then this is S for synchronous. So I will be going to that live, and then pre-recorded will be lecture 2. This is also pre-recorded. Then self-directed learning, basically just study. And then the last week, I know there's Labor Day, so we have Monday off, and then this is our first exam. And back to what I said in my previous video about med school being like learning a college semester course in 3-4 weeks. That makes sense because lecture 22, there's about 22 to 25 lectures in my college courses. I was super ready to join and then it says no one else is here, so I think I have the wrong link. Apparently at 8 a.m. we have the big orientation meeting on WebEx. I'm so confused sometimes. 1.5 speed. You only need to pick out the important information, and then from there, that extra time that you have can be dedicated to what you need to reinforce. Okay, so I paused my lecture 40 minutes to upload my video. So I finally finished that pre-recorded lecture. Each lecture is by a different professor actually. In the beginning, I'm sure they'll cycle through. Now I have an application session, which I was supposed to start at 1, but I got distracted by YouTube and Instagram. So I'm going to take a break for a little bit and then go back over the 2 lectures that I learned. Honestly, I just learned the bulk of my eukaryotic cell biology course in the matter of 50 minutes. It's not anything that's super new. It's just I forget a lot of it. Okay, so I took long enough of a break. I'm going over and watching the YouTube videos that were linked in my lectures. As you can see, I just kind of write down the main ideas, so I don't have to waste time rewatching once exam time comes around. I've only really had 2 lectures today, so I'm going to try to add just a few cards from the second lecture because that's about DNA, replication, repair. And then I'm probably gonna go to bed and wake up early. Here's what tomorrow looks like. This Foundations of Medical Practice, so I do have to be up and at 'em at 8. So it's really nice that my schedule's set up so that the kind of hardcore material in yellow for the lectures is Monday, Wednesday, Friday. So that gives me time to do the lectures, go over them, and then have time before the next material is released. Overall, my first day wasn't terrible. It was a lot of sitting down, a lot of lectures. I've seen about 80% of the stuff that was taught today, which is good. It's encouraging. Does that mean that I have that all memorized? No. Okay, good night. After effectively laying in bed for another 20 minutes, I have a live WebEx. I don't think they can see me, so... This class that I'm in right now is the Introduction to Foundations of Medical Practice, or FMP. This is a lot of the more applicable skills that I will learn in med school, like how to interact with patients, taking history. So they just said that our main assessment for this class, there's no written exams. It's all about watching and listening to us in the simulation exam when we interact with basically the fake patients. I know there's another name for them, but I can't remember. The ambulatory clinic that I will be attending starting September 14th. Obviously, because of COVID, my time in the clinic is shortened, but I will still get that hands-on experience. And then with that ambulatory clerkship, there's all these different forms that might be useful to have on hand. There's a bunch of checklists and stuff about basically the 101s of talking to patients. So certain things you should look out for, chief complaints, history. Overall, this class, the 2 components of reading and studying about patient exams, how to take patient history, and then the other component of actually going into the ambulatory clinic, that's just super exciting. However, the patient patient interactions won't be in person. Usually they would have us go to the lab. They said it's all going to be online, so I'm not sure how that's going to work out, but I'll still be going to the clinic to help, actual patients. This class, Scholars Workshop, kind of covers all the little details that don't fit in either the hard science courses, which are my lectures, or that FMP that I just talked about. We have application of evidence-based medicine, medical research, biostats, healthcare, policies, history of medicine. Let me just tell you that all these different WebEx meets, this system that we use to access our homework and assignments, Outlook, the calendar, it's just all so overwhelming. I feel like I'm just hanging in there, and it's only the second day. I guess in person it would be a lot easier because you just follow what everyone else is doing. Okay, literally, what the heck? Talked a lot about the healthcare system. I was a biology major. I don't understand insurance, economics. I'm just gonna put that out there. I just got off the phone with my M2 pal. He was super, super helpful. He answered all my questions. We literally started talking about residencies, and yeah, I've just been feeling very overwhelmed. No, it's okay. Don't you dare drink my coffee. Update, we are back after a very productive but unproductive coffee break, feeling a little bit better. Started using Google Calendar because I literally cannot take Microsoft Outlook. I can't do it. That was a much longer lecture than I expected. To be productive. These are only 2 lectures worth of cards. For anyone who doesn't know what Anki is, it's basically a very fancy flash card service. So it shows you stuff you don't know frequently, and the stuff that you do know, it doesn't show it as frequently. That's it. I don't know why I'm still up. Okay, I'm making the executive decision to go home because I want more food, and yeah, it's kind of lonely. It was nice to get out of the house. We're leaving. Oh, that was ironic. I saw my 1 out of 3 friends from this school so far. Where's my dog? Chicken sandwich and an iced coffee. And I have lecture at 1. A ton of new cards that cover my first 4 lectures. I'm going to study for a little bit, and I'm gonna go. Kinda a late start to today, but it's okay because the commute is short. The class that I just had was Foundations of Medical Practice, and that was super useful in covering how to take a patient history, particularly the medications. So it's all these different factors besides just simply getting the information out of the patient, and I don't know, I really do like that aspect of medicine where I'm just going above and beyond just being there to get the history and saying, here, I'll help you print out a coupon if you can't afford your medication and recommend generic brands and how he's confused and how to help him. So I don't know, I really do like building that kind of relationship. Who knows, maybe I'll switch to primary care. So that's really all I have for today, which is nice. Actually, during this time tomorrow at 10 a.m., this isn't the lecture, this is a review session, so you go in and you come with questions. That means I really have to do lectures 5 and 7 today, while also studying the rest of the material from this week. Come on. I'm going to move on to the next lecture, watch that, take notes, make cards, and then do that for another lecture. So I got through both of the lectures that I wanted to do because I do have live portions of them tomorrow. So it's 5 and 7 for some reason. And then the pre-recorded things that I can really watch anytime are 6 and 8, but I'm just gonna save them for tomorrow. Meiosis. Yeah, I don't anticipate med school being... I mean, on the bright side, I'll have a lot of time to focus, and a lot of my responsibilities are cut down, which is nice. Once the material gets conceptually harder and I have more responsibilities and obligations, at least I have this opportunity to start out strong. So, first week of medical school is almost done. Okay, so right now I finished my ALG. We concluded our case for the week. Right now I'm in a modified flip session. Because I looked at the lecture, I am now just in a big webinar with a bunch of my classmates and the professor who gave that lecture, and it's just an open forum. People put messages in the chat and then he talks about them. It's not mandatory. So basically I'm just gonna make a few Anki flashcards and then move on to the next lecture. I just went over my one lecture that I watched yesterday, and I'm about halfway through the second one, but I have a meeting about financial aid now. After about an hour break, back at it. Lecture time. Okay, update. Really, I'm struggling with this one lecture, literally on 30 minutes, and I don't even understand those 30 minutes, even though I put them at 0.75 speed. So I'm gonna try to watch some YouTube videos, maybe go back to the slides, make cards, and then put it away and move on, because I still have another lecture. I have given up on faulty lecture. Maybe we'll come back to it tonight, but I have moved on to embryogenesis. Sometimes you just gotta do that. On another note, I got my Myers-Briggs type indicator. I am an ENTJ, so it says that I'm an extrovert, and I'm sensing, so I take in information that's real and tangible, focus on using my 5 senses to perceive things, thinking over feeling. I'm also judging. People who prefer judging come to conclusions quickly, and when they want to move on, they take an organized and planned approach. I feel like it does fit me. This past lecture was embryogenesis, just a lot more interesting. It was really thorough. I don't like going back to lectures. I would rather just look at my notes and know that they encompass everything that I need to study. So I'm going to go for a run now before it gets too dark. And then this weekend, I'm just gonna have to go over the one that I skipped. Today especially, I feel like I'm getting in there, even though this is just the first block, and it's going to be a lot more med-school-y come second block and next semester especially. So I'm going to try to keep vlogging. Hopefully you guys will enjoy this journey. So that concludes my first week of medical school. And if you like this video, please be sure to give it a thumbs up, subscribe to EmmaleeMed, and leave a comment down below. Bye!